So, welcome everybody. This is, I think we're at week 6 now of the Internet Business School's live surgery sessions. For all of you who are new here, what we're aiming to do, and I hope you're aware of this, and that's why you're here today. What we're aiming to do is just bring you every week some online complementary training, just giving you real actionable content which you can take and use in your own business or just start something up from scratch. Um, you know, Before we started, I think it was a few months ago, I realized I was talking to someone that you really would have expected to be more knowledgeable about some of the basic fundamentals of online business, when it comes to funnels, content creation, course creation. And it really surprised me that something like a simple automation to tag and send somebody something was just something they couldn't get a grasp on. So it got us thinking, and we thought, you know what, let's put something together that's completely free of charge and just tries to bring you stuff that you genuinely need week on week without getting sold to. Okay, so and that's what this got created around. So everyone is new here. Let me do some housekeeping. So you would have been sent your login details. So you automatically get registered for these sessions. So each week, in fact, this week, I don't think I updated the Zoom reminder. So you probably got the same reminder you got last week. So I apologize for that. So in your members area, which everyone would have got sent, you've got your Zoom registration link. If for every reason you can't find it or don't get sent a reminder, your access link, that's in there. You've got a link to the YouTube channel as well. And all of our replays, Craig, are on our YouTube channel, which I'll show you the link in just a second. All right. And in there as well, you've also got 30 days access to our ultimate business system, which is the platform we demonstrate everything on. It's basically like your one-stop shop for all your business and marketing needs. It allows you to build courses like I'm going to show you today. It lets you have your whole subscribe list on there, create membership sites. It lets you build websites, sales pages, shops, everything you need is on there. So we've got 30 days free access in everyone's account on there, for you to, because what we thought, if we give you access to it with a bit of luck, it gives you a chance to try it out. And also, if you like it, what we've got is actually a built-in support team that basically help you get set up on the platform and migrate anything existing you've got onto the platform as well. And then week on week, whatever we teach you, you can then literally repeat on exactly the same platform that we're using. Okay. Now, a couple of housekeeping rules. Any issues with login details, you've got the support at Internet Business School, email address there. And any issues around wanting to start your 30-day trial on the Ultimate Business System, there's the link there, bit.ly ubs-30 days. Okay, but like I say, all of this is in your members area. And most importantly, if you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe now to the YouTube channel. Like we were saying, last week we covered how to create course content with AI, and Roger very kindly placed that in a. Oh, hey Hazel, perfect. Thank you, Hazel. Thank you very much. Very kindly placed that in a Google Drive for me. So what I'm going to be doing now is showing you how to take that content that you create. Thank you, Martin, and use that to start building a course. All right. Now, I'm trying to do this completely from scratch. I've done this a couple of times on the platform I'm going to use. But what I quite liked about this idea is that I thought I could just go in and keep practicing and practicing and try and make it so it's perfect. And I thought, actually, no, let me just build it with the knowledge I've already got on the platform, just to prove to you that you don't need to be techie or have done this before. It's almost like paint by numbers. So let's have a little play. All right. Now, today's course building. Now, a couple of things. I didn't bother putting any more content down there because I thought I'd just talk instead. Now, courses are great, okay, because you can use them for so many things. You can have them high price products. You can have for like 2,000, 5,000. They're evergreen. They're sat there. People can buy them direct. You could have a real simple introductory course, which is basically a free giveaway, like a lead magnet, like we built the other day. We built a, what is it we done? We done a PDF booklet, didn't we? I think like an ebook that we built together. So you could use the same thing, but just put together a real simple course, like I'm going to show you, and then deliver that instead of the ebook as your free giveaway. Okay. Like the idea of a course sometimes holds a bit more value to people, so they might be willing to give you details. And that course as well could be a gateway to the paid course as well. So, I might take you up on your free course, which might just be something real simple, like 5 short lessons. But then that might lead me onto something like you might have a little paywall that says, did you like this course? We've got this other one that's going to give you a lot more. Or so it's sort of a nice little lead in to the more valuable course you've got. Okay. Right, let's get out of these slides. Let's close that. Sorry about all the windows. Right, can everyone see my screen okay still? Just want to make sure because I've just jumped around a little bit. Give me some yeses, please. Thank you very much. Love this. Some more yeses. Give me some more yeses. Come on, let's get everyone active. There we go. Keith, thank you. More yeses, please. More yeses. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Yep, 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 yep. Yes, I love this. Thank you, guys. There we go. Nice and engaged. Makes me know you're there because it is sometimes a bit weird when you're just talking to a screen. Brilliant. Okay, love that engagement. Thank you, guys. So, to get started within the Ultimate Business System, okay, very straightforward. You're going to come down to memberships, okay, and then you're going to come to this section here. Then you're going to go to courses, down to products, and here you will see a range of options. Now, what you're going to do next is hit create product. Now, if you've already got courses hosted on Kajabi, which is another paid for hosting platform, you can import those courses directly into here. So if you were looking to migrate everything into one platform, you can do that. All right. But what we're going to do here is start from scratch. Now, from here, it gives you some options of building things around ones they've already got frameworks for. What I'm going to do is build one from scratch. But to give you examples of these, so for example, a sprint course, this is something real small. So this might be something like this. You could use this as a lead magnet. So quick 4 lessons, 3 lessons, little click of what's next. That might be a step through to a phone call or a step through to a different product. So the sprint course is a nice, quick, small course. You've got the membership course, pre-framed one, which as you can see, slightly bigger. Lessons. All of these, by the way, are editable. You can add more lessons into each of these. But I just prefer, when I'm building something, I prefer just starting from scratch, to be honest with you. And then you've got the marathon course. So if you've got something high ticket that needs more areas to it, you might want to just update one of these. Okay. But like I say, we're going to create a product from scratch. So start building here. Build your own. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the lessons that our good friend Roger created for us. Lesson 1 is there. So a lot of copy and paste in it, guys. Okay. So what I want to do is just give you some examples, build it out a little bit. Because what you'll find is that the more we do, the more you'll realize, oh, this is pretty straightforward. Okay. Once you've got the content, you can have a play around with the framework, drop in images, and then it's just about playing with how it looks. Okay. So we are going to call it, what did he call it? Let's remind ourselves. Title. Self-storage first deal playbook. So, bum, 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 bum. Product name. Great product. Great product. Come on. There's certain things I've done ahead of time, guys. So I'm kind of hoping that you don't have to do any whirring screens with me. Because it's always inevitable, isn't it, when you're trying to demonstrate something. Right, so as you can see, when I go into a completely new start from scratch course, there is nothing here. All right. but that's okay. I don't mind that too much because now we're going to go to the first lesson. All right. So he's got lesson 1.1 and lesson 1.2. Always a good starting point for any course is to have a little bit of a welcome. So we're going to call the first category Welcome to the course. Okay. Now we're going to put that in draft mode. So what you can do as well is when you're building the course out, you can choose what is published and what is draft, what's locked, what's drip fed. So there's lots of different variations here, okay? Now I'm going to add underneath this section a lesson, okay? And the first lesson is going to be lesson 1.1. Put that there, save. And then within here, I can now add a brief description and put stuff in there. But what I want to do first is just to give a little example. So if you're watching this back, we're going to want a welcome to the course, go back into there, and we're just going to have welcome to this program. It is designed to do X, Y, Z. It is being delivered by X, Y, Z. And you can just fill some information out there, the sort of thing that you want to see when you're joining a course. Like there might be a certain structure, certain, you might want to say, with some of our programs that we've got, we might say, watch this video here to get started. And it might be a walkthrough video of the whole course. It might be a case of, make sure you follow along effectively. If you've got any questions, reach out to this email. Any information in there is just going to just add a little bit more value and a bit of comfort that people are coming in completely blind. You might want to put a little bit of one of your bios in there, etc., etc. Okay, so that's where we're going with that. So let's save that and let's go back to the playbook. Okay, so we've got lesson one. Now, in fact, let's have a quick look here. Bear me 1 second. Do, 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 do. Right. Yes, yeah, because it's only a small course. So what I'm going to do now is take the content from lesson one. In fact, let's go all the way up there. And go all the way down to, what's it, 2.2. Now, as you'll see when I'm doing this, you can play around with how this is all structured. So for now, I'm just going to chuck this all in here, but I'm going to show you something in a second that you may choose to do slightly different. Okay. Now, within the course, you can add different images and thumbnails and things like that. So for this lesson thumbnail, I'm just going to use a generic one that Roger sorted out from the get-go, which I think I already uploaded. So I'm going to upload an image and we're going to get that one download. Into there, upload. Right, so now that's going to show up as a thumbnail within the course. Okay. Now, I need to change the dimension of that because as you can, it's spread out a little bit there. And also, what you can do is if your course has some video to it as well, within each lesson, you can upload video into here. All right. So you might want to upload one by, if it's hosted on a different platform like Vimeo, you might take it from there. You can upload it directly into here. So you've got different options there. So course structure wise, in fact, just out of interest, I'd like to think there's going to be some people on here. Who's ever bought an online course that is delivered in video format? Give me some yeses or nos. Yes, plenty. Perfect. Okay, good. So in those courses, I'd like to think a lot of the time it'll be a combination of video and text. Yeah. So in for this example, this is a text-based course, but what you might find is at the top of the video, you might have the video embedded, which is the main training. All right. And then underneath here, you might have a short breakdown of what that video is about and any resources and links to go along with it. So a lot of our training will do if the video is about something specific that oh perfect, thank you, Alan. Yeah, so if a video is about something specific that's talking about maybe website, a certain website or certain software, we'll then put the links of the software underneath. So always have a little think about, okay, what is my course, what is this video delivering? And what you want to do is reduce the amount of questions that you're going to get your customer potentially thinking about in their head and things they're going to want to ask you about. So any resources, have that in mind that are being delivered in that video and make them available in the bottom underneath the video. Okay, with a brief explanation of what the video is about, what the outcome goals are, etc., etc. But this is a text-based one as I'm doing. So at the moment, we're going to keep it like it is. Okay, so what I'm going to save that. Perfect. Now, just to show you something here, introducing, because what you might be able to do if you want to is within the category, break it down further. So if you find that you want it to, if you think it holds more value seeing more text under each category, then you might want to do it how I've done. Or you can chop it up so it looks like more modules and might be easier for them to consume. It's completely up to you in the end of the day. Okay. Yeah, sorry about the loading time, guys. It's a pet peeve of mine. All right. So we've got lesson one there. Now, add, add lesson, and we're going to chuck lesson two in here. Oh, lesson 1.2. Sorry, we're going to dip into lesson 1.2. We're going to call it that. Okay. And then within lesson 1.2, we are going to copy all of this stuff down here again. Now, depend on how well certain things format in this, you may end up adding, oh yeah, it's not been too bad. Because what you can do within here is it should give you options. Yeah. So you could add images within here. So for example, if that table came out really badly, I might choose to go into Canva, for example, or something, take it, download it as an actual image, and then upload it into this. Okay. And just have it sat within there. Okay. So you've got course two. Who out there has actually ever tried creating a course like this before? Just out of interest. Alan, I know you have. I know you've got a few things online, my man. Um, let's save that. Oh, perfect. A few. Brilliant. And what platforms have you guys used to build your courses on? Just out of interest. Let me get a rule of thumb about what sort of software platforms you've been using. My guess is Kajabi. Surely someone has used in Kajabi. I mean, we used it for years, but are migrating slowly onto here. Upload a thumbnail. We're going to use the same one again. Push button AI. Have a couple of landing league. Okay. Okay. So a few different platforms being used. Okay, so let's save that. So you get the gist, guys. This is it's pretty straightforward, you know, cut and paste. All right. And what you can do is do things like, add subcategories in here. You can add assessments, you can add credentials under each thing. So you can go in as much depth as you want to um, as you go through it. Okay. I tell you what, let's do. Also, if you want to, actually, no, let's just stick to this. Okay. So we're going to add another lesson here. So the next lesson was 2.1. Just thought, guys, I'm going to put this together and then Roger will come and look at this for his next session and be thinking, that's nothing like what I was going to be doing. But if he does, let me know. Let me know. He won't tell me. It can be our secret. Right. So let's go to lesson 2.1. Right. Okay. Copy and paste this in. Copy and paste this in. Okay. Get an image up there again. Ba 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 bum. How are we doing time? Good on time. Let that upload. Bum bum bum. Come on. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more lesson, and then we'll stop and we'll have a little play with some of the design elements as well. Okay. 2.1, and then let's do one more category. 2.1. This 2.2. Oh, 3.1. Oh. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I done the wrong one. One, 3.1. Yeah, take some there. So, like I said, with the categories and such, you might choose to add subcategories, sub lessons based off this text that we're doing. But let's put it on there and then upload thumbnail. And then this is going to be the last one of these we're going to do, because you can see the process is it's pretty straightforward. And um, there's no point in me just showing you the same stuff over and over again. Right. Let that load. Do, 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 do. You all still with me, guys? Good, with me. Right. Right. Thank you. Right, let's get rid of this little chat window just in the way. Let's get rid of blank post one. Okay. Okay. Now let's have a little play with the design. The design part is always the bit I enjoy the most, to be honest with you. So as you can see, so the basics of mapping out the course itself can be quite straightforward. It's then up to you, depending on how in-depth you want to go with the content. Like I said, you could add add assessments, add subcategories within these subcategory test one. Oh, terrible. Subcat one. See, and then you can normally drag it up. So what you might want to do is have lesson one might be like an overview. So you might want to structure this as being lesson one is an overview of what that lesson's going to be around. But then the subcategories are the are almost like the modules within that category broken down. So within each of these, you might choose to go, okay, title description, and then add more information within here. So they're going in, and then these modules are broken down. Okay. But yeah, like I say, and plus anything you do, you can just undo, you can delete, you know, there's never, I know sometimes when it comes to, and I've been guilty of this, that when you're doing stuff technical online, there's a little bit of fear in the back of your head thinking that if I press this button, everything's going to break, everything's going to disappear. I've been there, but with this platform in particular, if it ever thinks you're about to do something silly that could just delete everything, it will tell you first. So you might hit delete and then it will pop up and say, by the way, by clicking yes, you are about to delete all of your things from start to finish. Are you sure you want to do that? Yes or no? And obviously you press no and realize that you've made a mistake. But, with all these things, it's very straightforward. You can delete everything. Everything's so easy to, you can lock stuff. So if there's certain things that you've created, you can publish. If you've only got one module ready, you could publish that model everything else is hidden. And then when they're ready, you release them. Or you could set them to release on a drip. So after a certain amount of time, when somebody joins, you could say, oh, I want to drip this in 30 days. So in 30 days time from the point of enrolling on the course, they will then be able to see module one, and then they'll get the drip in 30 days. So if you've got a subscription course where you're charging £10 a month, for example, you might choose you only want to give them one module per month. So it kind of gives them the incentive to see the value of the first one. They're using it, but then they're ready for the next one, but now they've got to wait and pay to get the next one. Okay, so that might be a model you might want to choose. So lots of flexibility in here. Now, let's go to the details. So again, this is the course details for um, uh, the sort of welcome page of it. So let's go with this. Program is your fast track to securing your first storage deal, showing you across easy to follow modules exactly what to do. Okay, thumbnail, we're going to use the same one as before. Upload new image, pop it on in, upload image. Da-da-dum. Customizations. So this is where you might choose edit instructor. Presented by let's put Roger Norris. Headshot. Oh, a thumbnail new. Choose a file. Have I got one of Roger? I don't think I do. Let's just use. Let me just see a headshot of some description. I don't know for now. Let's use the image we created the other day. Is that the one we done the other day? Oh, yeah, this one we created. Yeah, let's use that. Why not? It's not related, but just to give you a feel for where things look as we go. Instructor name. Tool. Legend. Automations expert. Guru. All-round superstar. Obviously, you want to put something more proper for yours. And your logo. Let me dig that out as well. Desktop down here. Some materials. That logo is there. Boom. Upload. Okay. Recommended dimensions. Yeah, that's fine. Probably going to tell me it's wrong. Your favicon image. Now, if you are not sure what this is, I didn't realize it was called this, but your favicon image are these. So for example, up at the top here, you see this little gold square, this little Google Drive image, that little word, that is your favicon image. Okay. Now, to get that, what you need to do is one of two things. You can either, which is making life easy for us, just upload a new file, which is nice and quick. But sometimes it asks you for a link. And if it is a link that they ask you for, I tell you, let's just use the Internet Business School one again. So we're just going to use our logo for this. Upload. So if you're ever in need of a favicon image, but it asks you for a URL, what you need to do is find the image, okay? You're then going to, I'm just going to do it on the screen, go to media storage, upload that image in here, and then you will see you can generate a link, okay? Then you take that link, put it into the URL that's requesting, and then that will populate it for you. Okay. And then you've got advanced. We're not going to worry about those. Okay. Now, let's move the chat window out of the way. Save. Product updated. All right. Customize. Now, this is how it is going to look. So the default setting, let's have a look, see how it looks at the moment, is going to look like this. Okay. But you can change pretty much everything. So you can see some of that information we've populated. You seem to have completed all of those. Yeah, it's been put on here. You've got a little image here presented by Roger Norris. Roger Norris, Automations Guru Expert Superstar. So the more information we put in there, the more it's going to create. Browse system templates. But we can also have a little look at some of these. So you might choose that you want this one instead. So, I mean, I quite like that one. Let's try some of the others. SAS Pro. Or this one. So when it comes to design, it's really, I find that put aside a little bit of time and really have a play because the aesthetics of how a course looks and maps out, I personally think it's quite important. Sometimes, especially for a lower ticket or like a free giveaway, how things look can sometimes make it feel a lot more valuable than what the actual content is. So if you're just putting together a course as a free giveaway, if you can make it look good and make it look like it's got holds a bit of value, when people log into it, and they think, oh, this looks lovely, then I tell you what we're going to do is just keep the classic. Activate. Do you want to apply some apply some will remove the existing active campaign? Yeah, why not? Okay. Right. Offers. Now, what you can do here is we're going to call it storage course offer, because this can link to the delivery of the course. Now, I'm not going to go into the delivery of the course this week. Vish, I believe, is going to do that next week with how to then put it together so it's a sell. You can actually sell it and collect payments, etc. We're going to just set this as a free course. Actually, I'll leave it as free for now. And we're going to originally say that it was $49. And we're going to leave it in test mode. Create. And again, when I first ever done this, I just sort of went through the steps from start to finish, and it kind of just guides you through what to do. So don't fret about too much about trying to get things perfect. Just flow with the process like that. It eventually took you to a point where you're like, oh, it's asking me to do this next. I'll just do that now. Okay. Right. So storage course uh, to get you your first deal. Easy to follow online course. Included products is going to be this one. We're going to leave it in draft. Offer pricing, we're going to call it $49, but it's actually free. Offer access, begin access is innate. Now they can get it straight away. Restrict access to a specific amount of days. Note they can have it for life. Upload the same image as before. You see what I mean, guys? It's not. When I very first ever looked at this, like months ago, in my head I was thinking, oh, this is going to take forever. But as you start going through the process, it's a lot more straightforward than you expect it to be. Okay. You've got options for upsells, you've got upsells options to get the link to be able to sell it. So that's a link to the members area. But we're going to go back to the product itself. Let's go back to the product. Right. First deal, steps, offers, comments. So you can switch on and off comments. So users can comment under videos and files, so you can see and about the text, so that you can see how people are engaging. And that I believe you can link it to communities as well. So you can see, You can enable comments. There's lots of stuff to play around with. Okay, right. Bear with me a few seconds. So, right. Just out of interest, who feels based off the information they learned from Roger last week, knowing I know the new people here, if you're able to jump on that YouTube channel, go to watch last week's session, and you'll see the process of how Roger is using AI to generate content for a course, and you can do it across any niche you want. But using the content you generate, who can see how straightforward it can be to just put together a course in pretty quick time? And like I say, this is no way perfectly polished, you know, glammed up or anything. What I wanted to show you is that in what's that been 25 minutes, we've managed to just literally copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. All right. And from here, it's a case of just getting into it as much as you want to, adding as many videos as you want to. Like, oh, here we go. This is okay. What breed of AI are you using? I thought I'll do at the end. We'll go through some questions at the end. But what you can do as well is if you wanted to, let's chuck in create a category, course handouts. We're going to call this course handouts. Okay. Now we're going to add here. We're going to add, call it lesson one or now. What was it? He said it was called first deal playbook handout. We'll just call it. Now, what I'm doing now is if there's a tangible download thing you want your audience to have, what I'm going to show you now is how to host it and have it inside the course. Okay. So first up, exactly same as before, create a subcategory, create a lesson, label it as a handout. Then we're going to jump into that. And then we're going to say what it is. Okay. Right here, you can get your downloadable downloadable action plan for this course. Again, I don't want to sit here and bore you with typing loads of stuff out. These are just examples, short briefs of what to put in. Okay, now, okay, Roger had created me this document. Okay, so this is to go in with the course. All right, so you might have think about how we created a few weeks ago a lead magnet. Using that same strategy, you could create any document. Okay. I believe, I don't know if those people here last week, did Roger show you how to create a document like this at all, like a checklist? But if he did or didn't, I would imagine, well, you can, whatever flow that he used within AI to generate the content, if you need it to then work backwards and say, right, I want to have a first deal welcome handout setup kit PDF download. Can you create me the document? It will create this. And then you can either do what we did and export that and put it onto a document and go from there. So you've got your document. Okay. Now we are going to take your document. All right. I've already downloaded this. Let's just imagine that you've saved it in Word or whatever. Okay. Convert it into a PDF. Then you're going to go within here. You're going to go down to media storage. All right, over here. I'm going to do this in a separate window to save some time. Then move chat away. You're going to go upload. Then you're going to find said document, which is there. You're going to open that. Now, just like before, earlier when I mentioned about the favicon URL link, very similar. You're now going to hit those three buttons. You're going to go get link. Now you can come back across and you can put that in there. All right. So now in a minute you will see, in fact, what we're going to do, we're going to tidy that up a little bit as well. So we're going to highlight that. We're going to go to embed link. That's the URL we want. Now we're going to change the text that it's going to say. Click here. Click here for your downloadable um, PDF document. I can't remember what it's called. Okay, confirm. We're going to make it nice big letters. Okay, so now when they click that, they should be able to download it. So let's save, preview. Might ask me to there we go. So it's there. Click, and it's there, and then they can download it from there. Okay. So as you can see in our preview, there is some design tweaks. Oh, I've not got a thumbnail in, that's why. Let's see if that's, check that one in there as well. Upload. So look, it does recommend certain dimensions. So when you're doing this and you go in and you think, oh, that image looks a bit naff, that's normally why. Okay. Although it should have a thumbnail in it. Right, hold on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to product. Let's publish everything and have a little look at what we have done. In fact, 1 second. I want to get rid of that. So, oh yeah, little tip for you as well. When you're building content, okay, and building your subcategories, if you've made an error, oh, if you've made an error and you want to delete something, okay, you can either do it two ways. If you want to delete a whole lesson, you go to draft and delete there. But you'll notice when it comes to subcategories, it's not there. So you need to go into there and then hit delete from here. And then, like I said, if it thinks you're doing something silly or is worried that you're about to do something silly, it will ask you this: are you sure you want to delete this category? And yes, because I have done it incorrectly. So confirm, boom. Okay, so if you're like me and sometimes worry you're about to delete everything under the sun, it will tell you if you're going to do that first beforehand. Okay. Now, at the moment, we are in draft mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to publish this one. Come on, publish, or is it going to make me go through every single one? Publish. What's going on here? There we go. Publish, publish, published. Publish, 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 published, published, and published. Okay, now go back to products. And we are going to have a look at the course. There we go. Different admin mode. Please don't. Oh. Okay, here we go. Right. So here's the course. Right. So this is branding from a template that I used previously. So that's why that is looking like that. Okay. But as you can see down here, you've got the thumbnails, you've got my bad spelling up at the top. So you know it's definitely my course. You've got the image of Roger that we used, which isn't his image either. And then within these, when you go in, it's always good. You can do this in preview mode as well, but you can start seeing how it's laid out. And if you think, yeah, maybe there is too much text in here, you can go back, create lessons within each category, and then just hashing it out from there. Okay. So, and then from here, but I mean, layout wise, if the thing is with these course builders, whether it be Kajabi, this platform, what were some of the other ones people said they're using? Landingly, I think someone said, Push Button AI, Squarespace. Yeah, all of those platforms. The way the courses are delivered and how they look often looks very similar, but it's just whether or not they're as easy to use to build, and also whether everything is available in one place. Because what's good about this is I find is that if we wanted to build, say for example, I want to send an email, I want to do an opt-in page that can grab me leads, and I can take those leads onto a database. I can set up an email campaign to target those leads to then sell them a course. I can host the course on here. I can take payment for the course on here. I can then do upsells and create a community on this platform. So in short, everything you need is all in one place. So yeah, so that's why we're big fans of this Ultimate Business System platform, because we're able to try and do everything in one location and really start to wind down the subscriptions we've been paying out for years and years and years. So, right, if you have questions, fire away. Let me have a quick look. How did you insert the banner at the top? Oh, is that Julie? You're talking about this one here? Is it this one here that you're talking about? The one I said that was appeared from a previous template. Yes, perfect. Okay, so let's have a little look. See, so we were in here. Then we're going to do customize my templates. So, and we're going to go customize. Do 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 do. Believe it's in here. Let that load. Sorry about the loading time, guys. If you've got any other questions, guys, fire away. Or if you've asked a question previously and I've missed it, let me know. So as you can see, it is in here. So you're going to, let me get this chat out of the way a second. Now, you should, I think it's in themes. Was it themes? Header. Background in it. Reset to default. Let's have a look, see if that does. Actually, no, I like that one. So lessons. So it's the main product. Sorry, let that load again. So I believe it should be in here, product, looking at the header, logo placement, theme settings, sections, header, background, hero. There we go. So you want to go layout. So into product, layout, sections, across the sections, and it is in hero. Okay. So that is where you can upload your own header. Okay. And it will chuck it into there for you. All right. And this is where you can start to edit more of the images, text, colors, whether that be on the main product page or within each individual lesson. Okay. Is that all right, Julie? Or Julia, sorry. Okie dokie. Any other questions, guys? I think there was one. Perfect. Thanks, Julia. I think there was somebody asking about, can you upload existing courses? What platform are you on, Kathleen? Kathleen? Because Kathleen, sorry, Catherine. Because what it does allow you to do, let me come out of this, let me go all the way back to memberships. If you are on Kajabi, for example, what it's done, what this platform has done is, as it assumes the majority of users are probably on Kajabi, it does allow you to take a course link from your Kajabi product and put it in here in the product build. So let me get out of here. Courses, products. So Hazel, so when you're in the first steps of creating a product, you can go create product, and you can do start from scratch, what we do, or you can import from Kajabi. So, and it gives you the process of how to do that. But if not, what I would do personally is, if you've already got a course created and hosted in a platform that and delivered in a platform and a structure that you like, I would just go through and basically copy and paste the content. And with the video links that you might have, a lot of the time the URL, if you're using Vimeo or whatever, you can either upload directly into here or copy and paste the share links into the right place as well, and just copy across all the details and all the content. That's what I personally would do if it's not on Kajabi. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I know today may not have been the most exciting, but it's just a case of us trying to show you just some continuity. Instead of just jumping around all over the place, trying to show you, okay, so this is how you create the content, this is how you create the course. Okay, this is how you now deliver the course, this is how you sell the course. Um, I was thinking earlier on, is there anything that you guys, there's no wrong answer to this. I'm just really keen for us to line up content that you need or that you would like to see. So please, think about it. No one can see what answer you're about to give, and I might not even read it out if you'd rather me not. But I'm really keen to know what skills you want to learn or feel like you want to see in action. So it might be granting access to something. It might be I'm just, putting together an email campaign. It might be about building a sales page. It might be about um, building a chat bot. It might be about building an AI receptionist. It might be about I'm trying to think of something that might be about a sales call, dealing with how to do sales over the phone. Short book. Okay, thank you, Anthony. That's great. Okay, specifically in that niche, or because I'm sure that's the sort of thing. Do you do it for that topic at the moment? So, um, short book writing for children, but that short book writing skill set could be used in any niche and a valuable asset. So, have you ever done that with AI just out of interest, or is that you do that potentially predominantly by just shorthand or hand, Anthony, just out of interest? I think it's really interesting creating a chat. Okay, great. Chatbot email campaigns. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, interesting too. Now, Karen, just out of interest on that topic of chatbots, um, would you be more interested in having a chatbot that acts as more like a customer service bot, or someone, or a chatbot that is more like a lead capturing one, or both? No right or wrong answer, because you can obviously train chatbots to do a lot of different things at the end goal. So when people come in to your website, for example, you might want to be able to they've visited, you might want to start off asking engaging questions like, "Oh, welcome to the page. I can see, what you're interested in." Trying to get information from them and guide them in the right direction as a customer service agent, with an outcome goal of capturing their details. So it's almost like a lead gen tool, or you might have it want to be the outcome goal of getting them on the phone or booking a phone call. Yeah, so there's lots of outcome goals. So we can definitely look at a chatbot session, definitely. Building a chatbot team. Yeah, okay, great. So chatbot seems to be quite popular. Developing video stories for children. Booking, okay, Karen, great. Booking a phone call, good stuff. I'm going to use AI on top of my basic plan. Okay, great, Anthony. Okay, so it's a combination of both. Um, I would be leaning on Roger to do that probably with you guys. So if you're looking at creating, in fact, what you could do is based off his session last week and the sort of training that he gave the AI platform he would have been using at the time to churn out the course creation content. It's probably reasonably adaptable to follow the same steps to then train it to do any sort of book in any niche. But if you want a session on book creation using AI, that is definitely something that we can look at. So let me just make a little note. Creation AI, perfect. Okie dokie. Book creation, chatbots, increase followers and content creation, social media. that discussed last week and these are recorded on the platform. So Phil, all of the recordings of the sessions so far are on the YouTube channel. So you'll be able to go through and see what we've done so far. Okay. Go to it. No worries, Martin. All the best. Fluidity of connecting it all together. To look at the overview of the connection of language modules. Sorry. Through lead magnets to email, but to look at the overview of the connections from lead mag to delivery and follow-ups. Okay, so Catherine, are you thinking about, so we have the lead magnet, um, so almost like the full build out of, okay, so you create the lead magnet, you're dangling out there, dangling the carrot as you were, maybe post it on social media, getting them to opt into something. Then what happens to them when they come in, putting them into delivering something by email, a follow-up campaign by email that then tries to sell them maybe a course that we've created. Is that what you're thinking? That sort of journey from start to finish? Because if so, that's definitely something we could look at. Maybe we look at that session. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like a yeah, definitely that's something we could do. It will probably tie in nicely. So I believe next week session Vish is going to deliver a session on the selling and deliverability of a course, like via a shop, as it were, maybe. Um, and then after that, maybe we go track back and sort of do a start to finish sort of mind map, like you say, walk through everything from start to finish again. If you like, that's not a problem at all. Okay, good. So we've got some good things to go on. Wait, there was a question about AI that I missed. Sorry, guys. Let me. Um, I mean, I end up using everything I do is on Gemini. Roger goes a hell of a lot deeper than I do when it comes to AI platforms, if I'm honest. So if there's just using it, oh, Phil, very good question. I like ChatGPT. Okay, what is the best way to build a mailing list using a lead magnet? It depends. It depends if you want to do paid traffic or if you're trying to do something organic. To be honest with you, Phil. Um, we've done some examples before which have, and also the quality of lead and what the outcome is. You know, a mailing list is all good, but how the quality of the lead you're getting is also a is a big end result that you want because for example, we put together, I think I mentioned it when we were talking about lead magnets, but we put together a lead magnet based off how quickly AI is going to take people's jobs. And it was an algorithm built that basically gave people a countdown. People entered a few details about their job, and it would give them a date in which their job's going to be taken by AI. And we ran Facebook ads to it, and it was the most engaged thing I've ever seen us do. The amount of comments underneath, because you've got, AI doomsdayers commenting on it, you've got people being negative on it, no one's ever going to take my job. We were then engaging with them saying, what's your job? They might say I'm a plasterer, for example, and then we'd go and find an image or a video of a robot plastering, and it would just churn this machine. This whole social media campaign was going crazy. We were getting leads to build a mailing list for God, I can't remember it was under a pound per lead. But because it is such a viral lead magnet, you're not necessarily getting the people you want on your list. So whereas something like an online course, an ebook that's more targeted to what you're looking to try to sell to your mailing list, those leads are more expensive, but the you've got more chance of getting a return on the investment on your ads and from that mailing list, if that makes sense. So it varies a lot. Also, there's a few ways you can do it, like organic market, organic Facebook, organic social media, having lots of lead magnets free giveaways on your own website's always good because then at least people have come to see something that you've got. So you might as well grab their details to build your list that way. So that's very organic. Um, there's a strategy you can use with meetup groups, but even with that, you're still having to pay a subscription for that. I think it's like $20 or maybe it might be a bit more. So yeah, so Phil, is there a definitive answer to your question? I'm not sure there is. It very much needs dependent, budget dependent on what you're willing to do, and more importantly, what you've got to sell them afterwards. All right, because there's no point chucking a load of money on ads if you've got nothing to convert them into. Okay. But yeah, any more questions, guys, before we wrap up this week's session? Any more questions? Any more questions? Five, four, three, two, one. No, all good. Okay, right. That's a wrap, guys. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. I know there was a lot of copy and pasting in there, but it's just the practical. We're trying to show you practical things. You don't know what you don't know. I'm hoping that you now feel comfortable being able to take what you've done, copy and paste some stuff in there, have it all play, create your own calls. There's no right or wrong way. Use the YouTube channel, drop us messages if you've got any questions. Um, the replay of this session, I believe, should be up in the next 48 hours or by Friday. Don't quote me on that. But if you've liked and subscribed, you'll get notified of that once it is up. So thank you very much again, guys. Vish is with you next week, I believe, and I'll be back probably in 3 to 4 weeks. So don't miss me too much. And have a great week, and I will see you all soon. Thank you very much, guys. All the best.